Wait, are we streaming now or just checking?
Yeah, you're live.
Ah, grand. Forgive me. Welcome, viewers. Welcome to this month's monthly endurance championship round. Multi-class action once a month, and it's very good action. Yeah. So we've got 4 classes: LMP1, LMP2, GTE, and GT3. They're all ranked in that speed, in that order from start to finish, with LMP1 being the fastest, of course, and GT3 being the slowest. Although GT3 might be the most exciting class we have out here today, because of the massive field size. We have 39 minutes to go and 40 seconds of qualifying, and we've got 18 drivers in attendance, spread across all the classes. That's Ethan Mottram spinning at the final corner, but not before he sets a 149.5 benchmark for qualifying time on the soft tyre for LMP1. Antonio Costa is in P2 for LMP1 in his class, second overall, of course. He set a 2 minutes 3 seconds .4 as his best lap time, and no LMP2 cars have set lap time so far, only the GT3 cars. So in first position right now is Arthur Grau in the BMW M6. BMW seems to be very popular today in the GT3 class, despite the M6 being a 7-year-old car by my maths. It's still well liked amongst the sim racing community, or people just don't want to buy the M4 just yet. In my opinion, 8 cylinders is better than 6. Sounds better as well. So that's my take on things. The fastest GT3 time right now is 2 minutes 4 seconds .6 tenths, and that is his best lap time from Arthur Grau, the leader of GT3. P2 for GT3, 5th overall, Vic Vega, and 2 minutes 5 seconds .0. And third position, Rhino Berger, setting at 2 minutes 5 seconds .79. Behind him is Ryo Racing, who just finished his hot lap, another 2 minutes 5 seconds .85. Behind Ryo is Sutters Maraitis, then goes Erkan Arslan, then Dave Ziska. And that is that's all 10 out of 20 lap times we've got yet to see so far. There's still improvements to be made, of course. We'll see that in due time. And I should mention that Andy Foster has set his benchmark time for LMP2 early on in the session. It's a 2 minutes 1 second .79. That's all for now. Let's see how everyone else improves. This is a general. There's still half the field who's yet to qualify, so let's see how everything turns out, I suppose. Erkan Arslan crossing the line next, and GT3, he sets a personal best, stays P9 overall, behind Sutters Maraitis. Andy Foster's gonna cross the line pretty soon. It's rounding the final corner. Unfortunately, Andy Foster does not improve at the minute. Had 2 personal best sectors, but in the third one he underperformed. Let's hope he can get a better one in the next sector. And let's hope that Antonio Costa, one of the prototypes, the LMP1s, because Andy Foster, the LMP2, is outperforming his faster class predecessor. So that's obviously not the fastest we can see out of Antonio Costa so far for LMP1. So we know he can improve, so keep your eye on him. He joined last round in Monza, and he was had flashes of brilliance. So now for having a full month to practice now for Sepang, hopefully he can strike gold in the form of a golden trophy here tonight in this endurance race. Ivan Lukic, the sole GTE Porsche. Now there's the 1 out of 2 GTE RSR Porsches on the field right now is to set a P7 lap time overall. The precise lap time, however, is 2 minutes 5 seconds point 2. There's still time to be found because normal GT3s are going faster than him. And normally these RSR Porsches are seconds faster than normal GT3s, so let's see how they can improve. Sorry if I freeze a lot. There's not really much to talk about other than updates from lap times for these 35 minutes left of qualifying, so I might either fall silent or go totally off topic sometimes, so please forgive me. So Tuite was on a green lap, but he didn't make anything come from it. With the last sector. The last sector is a very technical sector that few were able to get right on this occasion. It's one of the things about Sepang, it's a very technical track, well, mainly in the second and third sector. It's a track I struggle at, actually. I'm a fellow sim racer myself. We got 13 lap times on the board now. Andy Darnell has just set his first flying laps, and he is in first position in his class in LMP2. That Chevrolet DPI is classified as an LMP2 machine. It's not as lightweight as the other LMP2 machines he's competing against, but it's got a bootload of power, as do most of the American machines. P2 is Andy Foster in the P21, I believe. Driving the number 4 car, Andy Foster. Alright, here comes Antonio Costa. He's starting to clean up his lap a little bit. Looks like he's going to go faster than his previous best. Maybe enough for a second overall at this time in qualifying. It's enough for second fastest overall and second in the LMP1 class. Although he's 3 seconds off of Ethan Mottram's hot lap, he does set a time on the soft compound of a 1:52.6. It's only a matter of time before Fotozisiglu sets a lap time, and he overtakes Antonio Costa for second place of LMP1 right now. He sets a time around 2.7 seconds slower than Ethan Mottram's hot lap. But what matters is consistency in the race. He's put himself up there now, and he's in a good spot. It's important he at least beats Antonio Costa for the qualifying time, so he starts ahead of him. Although the start isn't, qualifying isn't everything, or as Arslan spins at the final corner. Be careful. He's gone, but he was there for a second. Temporary roadblock. Half an hour left to go, and we've got the third LMP2 machine qualified, and he is just around 10 hundredths of a second slower than Andy Foster. He used to be faster than Andy Darnell. He used to be, that radical used to be at the front of the pack. So maybe this is just Janos Kovacs sandbagging. This will be interesting. Fotis Isoglu is on a personal best. In Sector 2, he's only 9/10ths off. He's getting quicker. He improves by a few tenths, but it's clear where he's losing the most time. It's Sector 3. Most certainly. Meanwhile, Vic Vega, in P9 overall and second in class for GT3, feels like he can improve even further. Might be able to... Like Arthur Graw in front of him has 2 seconds... No, not even that. 4 tenths on him. So it's a fine gap between the two drivers. They're both BMW M6s. Very fine gap between the drivers. If Vic Vega works here, he can most certainly pull out a pole position and lead the field during the rolling start. And that was a Bentley going straight on. That was either Dirk Pfeiffer or Mike Bartman going straight on at the final corner. Nearly collected Vic Vega. Andy Darnell, while still leading his class in LMP2, he is P4 overall. Andy Foster remains P2 in class, 5th overall, while Janos Kovacs has yet to improve his 3rd place qualifying lap. Ivan Lukic has managed to find a little bit more time than Arthur Graw. Barely ahead of him. But at least he separates himself and the GTR3 field. We've got 2 Costas racing today. One of them is in LMP1 and the other one is in GTE. As qualifying continues to 27 minutes to go, we've got a few more GTEs than we started out with. Now, Ivan Lukic is joined by Ricardo Costa and Alessandro Rebeck as well. Both of which have yet to set lap times, by the way, so it'll be very interesting to see whether or not they're up to Ivan Lukic's pace, or they're sandbagging to the last minute because they're that good. Or cocky. One of the two. 26 minutes to go. Dave Ziska gets closer to a P3 start. He's only 1/10, just over a tenth, behind on Sotiris Moraitis in that Audi. Dave Ziska can be very well be on a third place start here if he puts all the pieces together in one lap. It's very hard to do on a technical track like this one, but it's possible. And if he's able to figure it out, it'll help him greatly. Antonio Costa seems to be on a personal best lap. Will it be enough to secure P2? Go slightly faster, a few tenths faster, maybe 3, but not enough to claim P2 for LMP1, the top division in today's race. The fourth LMP1 machine today here is a TTV Alaho ESP, who will be the blue Mistral number 10 car, who I'll be referring to as Alaho from now on. I hope I'm saying this correctly. He's beginning to set his first hot laps of the evening. We'll see what his pace stacks up like in the coming laps. Meanwhile, Antonio Costa tries again in the first sector. He's only just over 2 tenths off of Ethan Mottram's fastest sector 1. But it all just falls apart for him and Fotis in sector 2 and 3. I think most can be said for most of the other drivers here today. Antonio Costa is only 9 tenths off of Ethan Mottram's PB, coming to the end of sector 2. Going into the third sector now, we'll be able to see just how much speed he's losing. Or if he's able to finally put it together from traffic for Antonio Costa. Sotiris Moraitis, that Audi R8 is in the way. He's pushing him to the outside. Off the track goes Antonio Costa. That could have been a very well been a second place worthy grid start, but that was ruined by traffic, unfortunately. He didn't back off, and he now has to try again another time. I hope that he didn't mess up Sotiris Moraitis' chance at improving to P2. Meanwhile, it's Ivan Lukic. His fastest time is at 2 minutes 3 seconds dead. And no other GTEs have set any lap times so far. So we have no idea how fast he is compared to the rest of the field. One thing is, Henrik Andreasen hasn't showed up yet. Oh, Van Lukic has spun there. Going into the turn 1 sector. Nowhere to yet. No, hang on, that was the final corner. He was back out. He's just got a bad run to his first hot lap now. No, not his first hot lap. What am I on about? Forgive me. But that's less than ideal. Alessandro Riebeck is in P15. No, he's not. I'm lying. He isn't qualified yet. He's 3 seconds off of the LMP1 time. I shouldn't be going off that because we should be going off of the... Oh, he spun anyway, but... Anyway, I need to get into the habit of going off of other classes' times, not the... Because he was 3 seconds off of the LMP1 time that he was set in Sector 1. I just need to get into the habit of that. But Alaho ESP is trying again in the number 10 Mistral to try get his lap time on the board. He's got 21 minutes left to make this happen. Let's see it happen. Another pair that we I'm overjoyed to see turn up is our Bentley brothers, Dirk Pfeiffer and Mike Boschman. A pair of Germans who simply love the Bentley GT3, the Bentley Continental. It's an uncommon car and an uncommon sight on the GT3 scene, especially compared to the BMWs and the Ferraris you see usually. But one twist about those Bentleys is that those drivers are usually very quick. They're always somewhere up the front. And it looks like they're keeping us waiting, seeing to where they stand up against Arthur Grau, the likes of Vic Vega and Salters Moraitis. Fotozisiglu set of purple first sector. Bit of traffic for him in the second sector though, he's 1.2 seconds off, he's not even on a personal best. That RSR has royally screwed up his lap time. It's annoying. I can relate. Like, that's the one problem with endurance, with multi-class racing like this. Like, during qualifying, like, if you're in the fastest class car available, let's say LMP1, like Fotozisiglu was, and you meet any kind of slower class car, and you can't get past them, it's literally a roadblock on wheels to you as an LMP1 driver. So like that, if you can't get past them cleanly, that's your hot lap and possibly your personal best ruined. Eighteen and a half minutes to go. And the leaderboards have calmed down for now. And I can't help but notice that the radical of Janos Kovacs had to leave and rejoin, so his time got reset. He's on track right now trying to set laps, but we'll see how it turns out. And Kovacs is actually on the hard tire doing his hot laps now. In my opinion, he should be on the softs while it doesn't fall apart. Because that's another one of those quirks we've got in this endurance race, right? So we've got double fuel consumption and double tire wear as well. Because this isn't as long as a proper endurance race, but it's long for this community standards. So for this style of racing, we'd like one of the most important parts of the endurance racing that makes endurance racing is the pit stops, like the strategy. Like, it's very important conserving your fuel, especially in the engine mode cars, where in the prototypes it's important to go into like a half-powered engine mode to try and make your fuel tank go fit for any farther you can make it without having to pit is free time, so to speak. So, but you have to make sure you don't start losing grip in those tires, because otherwise you're just going to start losing time, and then a 15-second pit stop is going to lose you even more time. So there's an optimal time to pit that you have to usually adhere to. So the double tire wear, that means that the soft tire that all the prototypes are qualifying on right now, and LMP2, I believe. Yeah, LMP2 have the soft tire available to them right now. They'll be able to use the soft tire now, but they will not last. The soft tire will not last during the course of a race distance. And like, the soft tire is the fastest tire, the most grippy, but they fall apart the fastest under normal conditions. Under normal conditions, it's usually really risky going for the soft tire anyway. But even more so, it just makes it... Think of it as the old qualifying tires that the 80s F1 cars used to run. Takes 1 or 2 laps and then they just fall apart. So the realistic strategy we're going to be seeing from all the cars really is mediums for the prototypes who have it available to them, such as Ethan Mottram and the likes of Andy Darnell, and the GTEs and all the GT cars. That they're all restricted to hards anyway, but that's probably the best way to go anyway. Janos Kovacs has set his lap time. He's faster. He's gone second fastest, just around 1.5 seconds off of Andy Darnell. He's got a bit of time to make up in that radical, but he's got the pace to do it. He's done it before. So T-Race is on a personal best. He's already gone 3rd quickest. Maybe he can improve even further. Maybe overtake Vic Vega in the qualifying standings right now. For 2nd in GT3, he is not he's not that much quicker in Sector 2, but he's got pace. And he might be a force to be reckoned with come the race. So keep your eye on Sotras Morait as the sole Audi R8 of the GTR3 field. Allaho needs to start thinking about his qualifying lap. He's on the track right now, but he's only got 13.5 minutes to set a lap time. He needs to set something, or else he'll have to overtake lower class cars to get to the start finish, to get to the back of the pack, of his pack. He hasn't set a valid lap time yet, so he hasn't qualified up at the front like he should. Hopefully we'll get a lap out of him soon. Arthur Gras on a personal best. And he just sets the fastest GT3 time of the session. It's 2 minutes 3 seconds 0.9. That's the first 2-minute 3 for GT3. That's very impressive driving from Arthur Gras, but it's a question whether he'll be able to replicate that going forward into the race. You got 12 minutes to go to set your lap time, and then we go under green flag racing at Sepang. Now it bears repeating, this is a multi-class race, so there's 4 classes: LMP1, LMP2, GTE, although there's only RSR Porsches, but GTE nonetheless, 3 of them, and then the rest is GT3. Most of which are BMW M6. A lot of BMWs in this class. It's a very popular car. Despite being 7 years old, it still remains in many sim racers' hearts to this day. And it's still... drivers like Arthur Gras and Vic Vega have proven that it's still quick. I guess they just don't like the M4 at all. Like, 8 cylinders in the M6 is better than 6 in the M4. It's a big trend that I've been realizing with these new GT3s that have been coming out in the recent years. They've all been switching to 6-cylinder engines. I'm pretty sure that like over half the field has got to be using V6 engines now. A turbocharged V6. It's not necessarily the best sounding engine configuration, which is one of my favorite parts of GT3. It's a love-hate relationship between me and this car whenever I do drive. But one of the best parts that made it redeemable was the sound, the amazing sound. And it's all gonna be 6-cylinder. Like the one very big exception to that 6-cylinder configuration is the Porsches. Like I'm a mad Porsche fan. So, also because this is R3E, what's your thoughts about the new 992 Porsche that's coming out in a week's time? Let us know. I'm personally the last Porsche they made for this game, it was super slow, like over a second and a half slower on leaderboards without balance of performance. So here's hoping they made a fast Porsche this year. Please, Sector 3. That was 2 personal best sectors for Stotter's Maritis, but it wasn't enough to move him up into P2. But he seems to be getting very consistent with that lap time that he's been setting to get to P3. And that is ultimately the quality that you will need to win this race. And Aloho sets his first lap time of the day. He's 6.8 seconds off the pace. I'm sure he'll improve. So 8 minutes left to qualifying and 19 drivers out of 21 entrants right now in the server have set lap times. Got Ethan Mottram on pole for LMP1 and first place overall following the safety car with a 1 minute 49.5 under his belt, followed by Fotis Isoglu, who's set a 1 minute 51.9. Antonio Costa, the third LMP1 machine, set to 152.2, and Elaho ESP sets to 156.4. And while we're on the topic of lap times, Janos Kovacs has pulled out another banger, and that Radical, he's gone faster, a whole second faster than Andy Darnell's Chevrolet prototype. He's set at 157.05, while Andy Darnell in P2 for LMP2 has a 158.15. So, give or take 1 second. I knew he had it in him, but he had to leave and rejoin. I hope that wasn't connection issues. You might see him disconnect due to the ping. I really hope that doesn't happen. That always sucks whenever you're fast. It's happened to me a bunch of times. Please excuse the train. See, then in P7 overall is the only GTE that's bothered qualifying, Ivan Lukic, who set a benchmark of 2 minutes 0 seconds .2. We have no way of knowing which other GTEs will. Well, I mean, sorry, forgive me. Alessandro Rebeck. Sorry. Forgive me, love him. There's a little bit of a lump in my throat. What I was meant to say was Alessandro Rebeck is in P2 in his class, but I don't think he's anything to worry about for Ivan Lukic. He is 3.6 seconds off his pace. Andy Foster, what the hell am I talking about? Is in P8, and P8 overall and P3 in his class. In P10 overall and first in class for GT3, Arthur Gra in the BMW M6 set a lap time of 2 minutes 3.8. He is the only sub 2.2 minutes 4 second lap time on the board right now, followed by Sotiris Moraitis, who's managed to overtake him for P2 in the end. Very well done to the Audi driver. Vic Vega being repelled now at P3. P4 belongs to Dave Ziska. 5th to Rayo Racing. 6th to Mike Bartman. 7th to Extreme Radical, the Brazilian. Rhino Berger is in P7. P8, Jason Camano in the Ferrari. And P9 on the board right now is Erkan Arslan. That caps your current grid. The other Bentley and the third GTE machine has yet to post a lap time, and I fear it might be too late. Very, very soon. He's still got time, but he's gonna have to make this a perfect lap time if you want to do well qualifying now. You've left us very, very far into the session. I doubt you'd be able to get anything very special done, but you may as well try. It's not over. So 3 minutes 50 seconds to go. It bears repeating that. Well, I haven't said this before, so it's not repeating, but anyway, there will be no warm-up in time for the green flag, so I'd guess drivers that are listening to me right now, I'd go to the bathroom while I can, and viewers, I'd suggest getting a drink or a refill while we can, for these things are about to get pretty spicy up in here. And at around 3 minutes time, give or take.
Andy, are you there?
This is commentator chat. Mute yourself or get booted. Sorry, chat. We have an open a commentator booth, so the drivers can listen to me for vital information while we race. Sometimes people don't know that this is commentator chat, so if you do hear other voices, it's not that common, but do be prepared for 2 minutes 15 seconds to go qualifying. Ethan Mottram in LMP1 seems to have sealed the deal with a 1:49.5. And Photosystiglu, the next fastest car, is 2.3 seconds off. So I think the deal is sealed for pole position for Ethan Mottram. Well done to him. So, it bears repeating that this is going to be a multi-class race, so this is going to be a safety car, manual safety car start. So people are going to be lining up in their classes, and they're going to be doing a manual rolling start. They've all been told this in race briefing, so hopefully no accidents will happen this time. Nothing happened last time, but something did happen in Spa. I'm not going to go over that again, it's a dead joke. 60 seconds to go and we're green flag racing here tonight in Sepang. So we usually have a 5-minute warm-up, but there will be no such thing this evening. We're going to be straight to the action, straight to the race. Because we got a long way to go, over an hour of running to look forward to. Might be a wise option to, like, after the race starts, after everything cools down, might tab out and have a look at Reddit forum or something. Because that's often how these endurance races get. They're really exciting at the start. 4 different fields to look after. But it's after that, while everything cools down, it's around like half an hour worth of 2 seconds trains to everyone else. So until the pit stops happen, then check back in. I'll give you a shout. But the real ones will stick around, because you're cool. This will be an 80-minute total race. Manual safety car start. Christian Kibovic, our 2020 DTM Super GT champion, is today's safety car driver. So you'll be able to see him briefly lead the field before the lap before we go racing here today at Sepang. There's Ethan Mottram at the front of the grid, flashing his lights for the camera. We see you, Ethan. We see you. That's Ethan Mottram in the number 1 Audi R18 e-tron. Well, and on the right side of us, we see Hotus Isoglu's DMD P20. They're both black cars, but you can tell the difference because the windscreen looks slightly thicker on the DMD, and it's the top of the red label on the top is also red. And now we see the rolling start begin. Everyone is sorting themselves out into their respective classes, and everyone else who have finished that are maintaining pace car speed. So these drivers now will be striving to get their tires warmed up and their front brakes as hot as they can to try and make any positions they can as early on as possible without having to have a slack off. So if you only joined us now, we are in the process of a formation lap here for a manual rolling start. Ethan Mottram in LMP1's on pole, followed by Fotis Isoglu. And it seems to Antonio Costa and Aloho, like at least for me, I can't see either of those. They're both, neither of them are appearing on screen for me. You'll have to keep tabs on them yourself. But Aloho is DNF'd already. He might have had to go somewhere, unfortunately. Janos Kovacs and the Radical for LMP2 is starting on pole with Andy Darnell breathing down his neck. Behind him, followed by Andy Foster, Ivan Lukic and Alessandro Rebeck are the 2 GTEs fighting today, and the GT3, the stock GT3s are the biggest field here today. It's being led by Arthur Grau. Close second for shock performance from Sotras Moraitis. But with Vic Vega down his neck in P3, it's going to be very interesting to see how he gets on. Now that's a Camano stopping in GT3. Okay. Ethan Mottram goes wide slightly. And we are green light racing in LMP1 here tonight. And Ethan Mottram went wide, it seems. Fotis Isoglu seems to have taken the position, but Ethan's going to be quick to fight back. heavy braking into turn 1 into the first set of S's, and Ethan Mottram's got it back him almost immediately. From if Fotis has the inside line, yes he does, but he's going to be side by side, and Ethan Mottram's going to have the lower TC and grip and acceleration going into the right-hander. Meanwhile, we are green flag racing in GT3 and Stotters Moraitis are swerving side by side with Arthur Grau, trying to break the toe desperately. He's getting very aggressive there in that M6 versus the Audi, number 14 Audi. And that's Vic Vega looking back in the other M6, followed by Dave Ziska, Mike Bartman, and Ryo Racing. They're all within half a second of one another. It's almost a 5-6 car train here for the lead here tonight. Dave Ziska in the M4, P11 overall, P4 in GTR3. He had good qualifying pace, but he needs to start lapping consistently or he's going to start losing at Mike Bartman in that Bentley in P5. I'm saying awfully push. Vega looks like he's going to pounce any second now on Stotters Moraitis. He's got the pace on him. And Arthur Grau seems like he's getting away from that Audi. He's putting on a very good first lap here tonight. And that's an ESR, that's an RSR round. Ivan Lukic is round. The faster of the two GTE Porsches is now spun off the track. He's in the gravel trap. He's gone back onto the track, but he's what is it, almost 6 seconds away from Alessandro Rebeck now. He's going to have to try and get those seconds back over the course of the hour. Stotters Moraitis is on the trying to look on the inside of Arthur Grau for the lead, maybe. Down the inside, gets it done. Stotters Moraitis, Audi R8 in the lead. Too wide for P2. Arthur Grau versus Vic Vega. Arthur gets in front of him. Vic Vega looking on the inside, but decides to pull out of it. That's the Bentley, number 6 of Mike Bartman, making the move on Dave Ziska in the M4. Number 7 going on the inside, making it forceful. That Bentley's got good grip. It gets past that M4 like... I got nothing. Vic Vega's in P3 now. He's very, very close to Arthur Grau, less than 2/10. They're essentially bumper to bumper. The pair of M6s were jockeying for P2. Very close. Vic Vega's in striking distance of that other M6 in front of him. And the more they trip over each other, Stotters Moraitis will maybe be able to build up a bigger lead over the GT3 field. He's now reached over a second worth of gap between himself and the next car behind him. Excitement for GT3 here tonight at Sepang. Very technical track, but these drivers are more than capable of putting on a good show. Going slightly wide over the curb there, Mike Bartman. Dave Ziska's getting a little bit of time on the exit of that corner. Vic Vega maintains his 2/10 distance between himself and Arthur Grau. We got 1 hour 12 minutes left to go, and we've got Ethan Mottram in the lead overall, followed by Fotosystaglou, who's been built up. He's been gapped by 8 seconds right now. Janos Kovacs is in the lead for LMP2, followed by Andy Darnell in P2, Andy Foster P3. Rebeck capitalized off of Ivan Lukic's unfortunate mistake going into the first few laps. He inherited the lead, but Ivan Lukic transformed that 6-second gap to 4 seconds within these first 4 laps, so he might be able to make a move here later on. Keep your eye on those two in those GTE cars. He got a rocket start. The man in P1 right now for GTE. GT3 is Sotiris Moraitis in the R8. He's making very good pace as Arthur Gras and Vic Vega continue to trip over each other, jockeying for P2. And as Sotiris Moraitis gets away, Mark Bartman and Dave Ziska get closer to them as well. Vega is under threat from Mike Bartman behind, but he's just so close to Arthur Gras in front. He needs to make some kind of move before he loses out. The side by side. Tries an inside line, but he's trying to defend frantically from the Bentley. Mike Bartman, the number 6 car, is following him in on the tight inside line. Inside line, yes. 2 wide, 3 wide, in fact, going through the second last straightaway of the track. It's on the outside of Arthur Gras, with that Bentley up the inside. He's going to take the 2 of them. Mike Bartman, second place, what a move on the Bentley, number 6. This is very good entertainment. Vic Vega flashing his lights in awe, congratulating his Bentley partner. Mike Bartman going defensive against Arthur Gras, and the 99 of Vic Vega behind him. Dave Ziska is not very far behind as well. They're tripping over each other. The further you fight, Mike Bartman and Sotiris Moraitis are getting farther and farther away. Almost 3 seconds now between Sotiris Moraitis, the class leader, and Mike Bartman, who's starting to gap Vic Vega himself. But he's yet to catch Sotiris Moraitis. He's getting farther away. Sotiris is getting very good pace here tonight. Meanwhile, back in the midfield, Radio Racing, the Brazilian, P13 overall, chasing Dave Ziska. He's in prime position for a move. Any mistake and he's got it. Dave Ziska's going to try keep his cool though, because in front of him is Arthur Gras, who's frantically trying to make up positions after a disastrous start on his end. Not as well as he could have liked. But this is a dream come true for Sotiris Moraitis. Look at him flying that R8. Now a small update on those Porsches. Ivan Lukic has now transformed that 4-second gap to 3 seconds. It's lap 6, it took him 2 laps to do that, so we'll be seeing some RSR action very soon. What's happening to Arthur Gras? He set the pole time for GTR3, but he is dropping back massively. He's taking him too long to get into the groove of things. It's going to cost him more and more positions until he starts getting it right. Vic Vega overtakes Mike Bartman in the Bentley. Tries to go side by side but doesn't have the momentum. He's going to try it again later on. Maintains 2/10 of distance, bumper to bumper. Mike Bartman versus Vic Vega. Arthur Gras breathing down their neck right behind him, as is Dave Ziska and Radio Racing. They're all within 4/10 of each other. Can you believe that? It's a 4-car train for the lead. Mike is getting very close. But Arthur Grau just got a very good boost out of there. He's getting very close to Mike Bartman. He might be able to capitalize. Right now, it's Vic Vega out in front. For P2. And so long as they keep tripping each other up, Sotras Moraitis gains even more time, almost 4 seconds now. Monumental. It's a train of Dave Ziska, Arthur Grau, and Rayo Racing, and that's as Rhino Berger slides really off. Made a last minute mistake. He'll be able to catch up though, I believe in his pace. Anything can happen in an hour and 6 minutes to go left on the clock, and everyone tripping everyone else up. This might prove a problem for Ethan Mottram out in front. He's got an ocean of GT3s to try get past. Traffic, traffic, traffic for the number 1. Moves are happening very often. It's an ocean. It's a moving roadblock for Ethan Mottram though. This is very good racing on our end, but this is a moving roadblock for that e-tron. Channeling his inner Lightning McQueen, trying to get past those cars. Before those gap between himself and Photosysiclu gets any smaller. We still got that train behind Arthur Grau as Dave Ziska and Rayo Racing with Extreme Radical around 6/10 behind them, just watching their every move in number 3. We are just about 15 minutes in, and things have gotten very, very dramatic here tonight, especially in GTR3. Vic Vega is 4 seconds off of Sotras Moraitis and is also battling with Mike Bartman in the Bentley. I don't believe how close this GT3 racing is. This is incredible. Dave Ziska locks up, he goes wide, he loses positions. Or loses a lot of time to Rayo Racing at the back there. From 2/10 to 1/10. Down the outside, it's a slipstreaming move, he's gonna try it. The Rayo Racing car doesn't get the move done, but he's still there, he's breathing down his neck as Photosysiclu encounters traffic for the first time in his race. And that's Antonio Costa. Unfortunately, my race viewer hasn't. This is the second time now that it has a prototype is out of my view. Something happened to Antonio Costa. He spun, but I can't tell you what happened to him, unfortunately. Van Lukic has even gone under a second between himself and Alessandro Rebeck. It's going to be a matter of time now before he retakes the lead. Stay, we're 20 minutes in now. And coming to the end of lap 9, we're going to start seeing some pit stops. Maybe sees a few strategies starting to form. Never checked what the tires people were on. Ethan Mottram is getting very good pace on that medium. Photosysiclu is also on the medium. In LMP2, Janos Kovacs is on the medium, Andy Darnell on the medium. Medium is a very popular tyre. Foster medium, Ivan Lukek medium, Alessandro Riebeck hard. So that could be what's losing in pace, but Alessandro Riebeck might be able to bounce back and stay out for longer and get quicker pit stops just pitting for fuel than Ivan Lukek, but maybe the faster tyre will help the Croatian get the edge. Sotras Maraitis, all the GTR3s have to be on the same tyre, they're all on the hards. Arthur Graw fighting that Bentley for P3, I believe, yes, P3. I cannot tell you what's happening to Antonio Costa, he's having a terrible day right now. Makes you question if he's ever even practiced. Alright, Dave Ziska is starting to settle into a pace behind Arthur Graw. He's going to try and make the move happen at some stage in this race. Arthur needs to try and close that half a second gap between himself and Mike Bartman before he starts losing out even more in this race. The man on pole now restricted to P4. Dave Ziska in the M4 trying to getting a little bit squirrely, flashing his headlights. And Arthur Graw trying to play a bit of a mind game with him. He's trying to pressure him into doing something bad. Arthur is going to be looking in his mirror and he's going to see him flashing his headlights, and he's going to be under pressure because Arthur knows that he's in trouble. If that Dave Ziska gets in another 10th, he's going to lose that position. So that's why he needs to make more time on that Bentley himself. He's very, very close. It's a 3-car train for the podium spots here today. Vic Vega just managed to get away from the rest of the pack, and he has a clear track ahead of him trying to catch Sotras Maraitis, but he is maintaining a 3.8 second gap for the last few laps. And the pit window is now open with 60 minutes left to go. 1 hour on the clock. We're going to start seeing people pitting in for fuel. People on the medium tires are still going to be flapping a bit quicker, but it's going to, at some stage, those medium tires on the prototypes are going to start wearing down. Arthur Graw starting to drop back a small bit, just the smallest bit, from Mike Bartman at Bentley. It's increased to half a second, but he's going to go back to 4 now at the end of Slipstream. Dave Ziska tries to get the move done, but it's Arthur Graw is now passed by Dave Ziska. Is going to try to break the toe. Arthur Graw needs this position back. He cannot afford to lose any more positions in this championship and sacrifice more points. He needs to go for it on the outside line. He fails to nothing. Arthur Graw is now P5 P5 in class. 12th over. The man on pole has lost 4 positions since the start of the race, which I find baffling. Because he was setting sub 2 minute 4 seconds, sub 4 second times in qualifying, and he hasn't been able to follow up. It's where consistency really gives you the edge here in this championship, this kind of format. Gives you the time to really work out that consistency and really get into the groove to see what you're really capable of in real conditions. It gives drivers who aren't particularly great in qualifying pace, such as Sutton's Moraitis, to get a skyrocket at the start and stay there because of his stunning consistency. Oh, Dave Siska's must have been a mistake. Arthur Gross on the outside, he gets past that M4 with ease. Next target, Mike Bartman. Exactly where he left off, 4 tenths away from Mike Bartman. Arthur's 2 tenths away, he's in striking distance. It's a slipstreaming move. Where's he gonna go? He's gonna wait, he stays in the racing line. He's gonna see if he can pressure Bartman into a mistake, but then that's Dave Ziska in the 7. Dirk Pfeiffer comes out of nowhere. P6 from the back of the grid. He goes into the pit lane to try and get an undercut on the rest of the GT3 field. It's going to be starting to become time to go in for the pit stops. But what happened to Arthur Graw? He got a bad exit and he lost his time. Mistakes are starting to creep in for Arthur Graw here tonight. Ethan Mottram has gone in for his stop meanwhile, and Fotis Isoglu staying out, seeing if he can get a little bit of an overcut. Ethan's gone on to a set of hards, I believe. Yes, Ethan's gone on to hards, while Fotis Isoglu hasn't pitted yet. He's still on those mediums. It's going to take a small bit of time for those hard tires to get up to temperature, so maybe Fotis can capitalize on that. Those 2 GTEs are still fighting. Alessandro Rebeck is still hanging on with those hard compound tires. While Ivan Lukic ahead of him in the GTE. They're both GTEs, I don't know why I elaborated on that. My point was Ivan Lukic is on the mediums. So maybe now's the time they're starting to fall apart, and that is Alessandro Rebeck. He's in a wall. He blew it. He is out of this race. We're out of contention. For the win anyway. Unless Ivan Lukic makes a mistake. Sotiris Moraitis goes in for his stop. And I imagine the rest of the GT3s will follow suit very quickly. Play and follow the leader into the pits. But not Arthur Graw and Dave Ziska. They're going to go at it for one more lap to see who can get ahead. Mike Bartman goes in for his stop. Very good midfield runner here tonight. The man to beat in the Bentley. Ethan Mottram is coming up against his next round of traffic in GTR3. Lap 14 is coming up behind Arthur Graw and Dave Ziska. As Graw loses out to Ziska, he doesn't want to lose any time. Moving over for that P1 is going to make it hard. Down the inside, cuts the curb a little bit. Now has to get past Dave Ziska now. And what happened to Ethan Mottram? He had to slow down on the apex to let Arthur Graw re-overtake him. Like, did you have to serve a slowdown penalty or something? Cutting that corner. With superior downforce, he gets past Arthur Graw in the end, but that was still a bit of a peculiar moment for Ethan Mottram. And Rhino Burger has gotten a drive-through. Arthur Graw is still staying out. He's going to try the overcut. Maybe Arthur's trying the engine mode. The engine map in the GTR 3s. Many people forget about that when endurance racing. Maybe he's using that to get an advantage in the overcut. But as it stands now, Mike Bartman, Dirk Pfeiffer and Sotras Moraitis are all midfield runners now. But the top three GT3s have yet to pit still. Arthur Graw in front, ahead of Extreme Radical and Dave Ziska. Ziska's in the pits now for his stop. And it's the two Bentleys reunited on track. They're going to be racing each other. They're very good friends of each other now. Hopefully they can keep it clean racing. Dirk Pfeiffer looking into the inside under braking. ABS saves him. He gets past Mike Bartman on this occasion, and Discord message in. Ethan Mottram DNFs. Something must have happened. I didn't see that. Not sure if you did on your stream, but I didn't. What happened to Ethan Mottram? He was going to lead. Well, with two vague... he's having a meltdown in Discord right now. He's not very happy with himself. Well, that's essentially gifted the win to Photos Disagloom. That's a shame. 48 minutes to go, and I thought we were going to see an overcut from Photosystic Blue. I've got nothing to say. I still don't know what happened to Ethan Mottram. He isn't elaborating, he's just having a meltdown in chat. Maybe it's a connection error, or he was wrecked by someone, or anyway, your race winner for LMP1 everyone Photos is a blue. Let's focus on the other three classes here tonight, shall we? We still have yet to see the top three GT3s to pit. They're trying to go over on an overcut strategy. Alessandro Riebeck has managed to... He lost over 10 seconds to Ivan Lukic earlier this race because of a spin he had. It's a very easy car to spin on low TC. Maybe he was trying to... He was cutting it close, but he's Alessandro Riebeck as Ivan Lukic's medium tire compound falls apart. The hard tire starts to come into play, and with 46 minutes to go, it seems that Alessandro Riebeck is on the better tire. So with Riebeck on the better tire, I have reason to believe that Alessandro Riebeck might be able to have a comeback in GTE very soon. It brings with the question, when are those top 3 GT3s are going to pit? Because Vic Vega, Arthur Braun, Extreme Radical, they're the top 3 at the minute. They still need to pit for fuel because they're not going to make it to the end of the race. And everyone behind them, like Dirk Pfeiffer, Mike Bartman, Sotras Moraitis, 2 Bentleys and an Audi, all waiting for Vic Vega, Arthur Braun, Radical to... Like, maybe it's an engine mode overcut. The first of its kind that I've seen in this series. We'll see how it works for him. Maybe this is a calculated move from Arthur Braun, or maybe it's just simply waiting for Vic Vega to pit in front of him first. But either way, whatever way you look at it, those GT3s, like Arthur Gross' fuel tank must be crumbling out of dehydration. But anyway, 45 minutes to go. We got Fotis Isoglu in the lead for LMP1. Ethan Mottram, something happened to him. He won't elaborate. Janos Kovacs is leading in LMP2 ahead of Ivan Lukic in P3 overall, as Andy Darnell comes out of the pits from his stop. Wait a minute. I believe Janos Kovacs is a genuine lead over Andy Darnell, because they've both pitted. I haven't been really paying attention to LMP2, honestly. I should take a closer look at them from time to time. But Riebeck's in the pits now, and Ivan Lukic is going to start looking into getting into the pits for his stop to get a top up for fuel whenever he can. And it seems on this occasion Dirk Pfeiffer seems to be the faster of the Bentley brothers, and that's Vic Vega in the pits, and that's Dirk Pfeiffer and Mike Bartman. Both passed Vic Vega. Dirk Pfeiffer and Mike Bartman have both coordinated an undercut to get past Vic Vega on this occasion. Very smart strategy thinking. Still got Extreme Radical and Arthur Graw up in front. Arthur's going to have to start thinking about pitting soon. He's sent it out very well, Arthur Graw. Almost half race distance, and he hasn't pitted once. Fotis Isoglu, by the way, got put on is either on the same mediums he was on or bolted on another set of mediums. But if anyone's hasn't changed their tires yet in prototypes, or in Lukic has gone in for a stop, let's see if the undercut from the other GTE is enough. Alessandro Riebeck from a lot of time back, all over 40 seconds. Extreme Radical is out and in the pits now for his stop. keeping it out for as long as he can. And that's Rebeck again. I don't know what happened there, but that was a very costly mistake. I highly doubt that GTE will be able to make any serious contention for the lead of this race now. So Arthur Graw is the final GT3 who hasn't pitted yet, and I have no idea how he made it this far. Half the race distance on just one tank of fuel. Like, that is mind-blowing to me. How long can Arthur Graw keep the overcut going for? He's gotta be running on fumes, he's gotta be. And that's it, he's in the pits. Will this overcut work, or will Dirk Pfeiffer and Mike Bartman be able to capitalise? And that's the two RSR Porsches making contact, or either spinning with each other and making contact. It's Rebeck and Lukic. They got together. It's very peculiar how this GTE is, the GTEs are, I'm just confused in how they're so far apart and then they go very close and then far apart and very close. Very often, scarily often. As Arthur Graw emerges out of the pits, alright, I'm gonna level with you. That overcut went terribly wrong. Terribly, terribly wrong. Arthur Graw is now... He's in P7 in his class at the minute. He has lost 6 positions. Well, he's got his homework cut out ahead of him. Like, no joke, those are GT3s he was racing a while ago, they're gone. Like, I have no idea, like, whether or not the other GTs will have to come out for another stop at some stage, but... Wait, so Arthur Graw got this far, presumably on engine mode. He's trying a one-stop strategy. He's got a full tank and nothing else, and he's going to try overcut everyone else. Like, that overcut wasn't an overcut, that was an undercut for everyone else who's about to pit for the second time. If this works, that might be the craziest strategy I've ever seen on the monthly endurance race. Period. Meanwhile, it's back to chasing bumpers for Dave Siska. He's gonna try to get past Rio Racing. Siska in the 7 against that Road Racing 99 car. A lot of people chose the road racing 99 for this championship. It's a popular brand. Side by side, and the S's. The road racing car has a bit of a better acceleration, but Dave Ziska is going to be back. In a second, in the next corner, it's going to be a right-hander. With a slight upper elevation change, it's very hard to carry speed over there. It's a very sketchy place to try to go for a move, but Dave Ziska tried it anyway. He's got 36 minutes left to go to try and make this move happen, but he wants it done so he can try get make headway on Vic Vega out in front. He's got the pace in him. He just needs to put it all into a lap and keep doing it for 36 more minutes. And there's Antonio Costa. I haven't been able to keep up with him very often. I don't even know which position he's in, if he's ahead or behind. Photosysically, but because my race viewer has glitched out, unfortunately. So unfortunately, I won't be able to deliver you LMP1 results. But either Photosysically or Antonio Costa, one of the two. GTE Porsches are back together now. Ivan Lukic chasing Alessandro Riebeck. It's this guy on the inside of Rayo Racing. Rayo gets a switch back. Side by side across the start-finish straight, and it's Dave Ziska who gets the better exit. On the left, you've got the GTEs. On your right, sorry. You got the GTEs, and then I butchered that. That could have been a very exciting moment, but I butchered it. Sorry about that. Traffic for Ivan Lukic. He needs to get past that GT3 as fast as he can. There's Photosysically coming up to lap Ivan Lukic. I was gone slightly off track there. Photosysically's gone off track. Now, I don't believe I've mentioned this before. We've got a new system, and we're trialing a new system here for the off tracks, because we've seen a lot of people cutting track limits in the race. So we've imported the system into our servers where this counts every off track, and if you go off track more than 40 times on this occasion, that's what the limit is set to, you get an automatic drive-through penalty. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see how many they've got, but I need to put a lid on it and try keep it on the black stuff, if you know what I mean. Or else they will pay the price, and the race lead could be possibly blown wide open. Sotiris Moraitis is in second position right now, second only to Dirk Pfeiffer. And Mike Bartman is pitted again. He's going to try get another undercut going. It's worked out pretty well for him, and I have reason to believe that Dirk Pfeiffer will follow him. Well, the GTE situation has turned out a lot more different than I expected it to. I expected Lukic to win, but it's Riebeck who's managed to keep it together that little bit better than Ivan. Riebeck is out in front of his fellow GTE at the minute, and that's Fotis around. Not that there's an Ethan Mottram breathing down his neck anymore, but I have no idea where Antonio Costa is, or whether he's going to be caught, or whether he's ahead. But all we know is that it's essentially a done deal for whoever's in the lead in P1 right now. And that's our first drive-through victim. Rayo Racing has cut the track more than 40 times. It's going to have to come through the pits for a drive-through. Dirk Pfeiffer has gone into the pits, and that means that Sotiris Moraitis has inherited the lead. Andy Darnell has been comfortably leading from Andy Foster. And Andy Darnell's in P2, I lied. Kovacs was in first position for LMP2. With half an hour to go, things are starting to calm down everywhere but the GTE field. Ivan Lukic is getting back into striking distance with Alessandro Riebeck. They're 3/10 apart. As Fotis overtakes Andy Darnell. And that's Fotis Isoglu. He's gone off track an awful lot on screen. He's starting to cook. He's overcooked it a few times now. This is going to be his third or fourth time overtaking these GTE cars now. Ivan's probably wondering what the heck's going on in that LMP1 cockpit. He's constantly getting impeded by this LMP1, unable to overtake him. Must be frustrating. Moraitis remains in P1 for his class. Oh no. And that Audi R8 is going straight to the back rooms. That is very, very unfortunate. Sotiris Moraitis is DNF'd. A possible candidate for a race win today. The last time he raced here, he won. He could have made that a second win running, but that is just not in the cards today. Goodness me, internet has been a menace on those Audi cars tonight. First, Ethan Mottram on his e-tron clocking out. Assuming that's what happened to Ethan, I don't actually know, but then Sotiris just fell into the back rooms, and at least that's what it looks like to me on stream. But anyway, the man who inherits the lead now is Vic Vega. And Sotiris, if you can hear me, I'm streaming my POV. Yeah, he's very upset in Discord as well, as was Ethan. It took him so long to get this far. He was doing so well, but this is just disappointment to the max. We got half an hour to go, and so far we're starting to see a series of disconnects now. That's Dave Zizko off in the distance. Arthur Graw's going to be able to capitalize. He's saying thank you very much. Thanks for the pre-position. But I don't know what happened to Dave Zizko. He's in the pits actually. He tried to go into the pits, but ended up going into the gravel trap, taking the rally. Do a little bit of Dirt Rally 2.0. But Rebeck remains within 2 seconds of Johan Lukic. You might be able to see removed from him soon. They've been wildly inconsistent. Don't know where the third GTE machine went. I don't think he even did the race start. But wouldn't blame them. It's chaotic. Dave Zizko's gone into the pits for his final stop of the race. And that one-stop strategy that I've predicted is currently got Arthur Graw first position again. Well, second only to Vic Vega, but depending on whether Vega pits or not, is going to be the deciding factor on whether Arthur Graw's crazy strategy nets in the bag. So, 24 minutes to go, and yeah, everything's more or less calmed down now. Damn, that's so rough. I was really hoping that Soteris would do well at Sepang. Like, he was set up for such a good performance there. Like, after being tortured in that GT4 Evora a few evenings ago, that was the best performance he's had in a while. That is so unfair. I have nothing else to say. Just the fact that it's unfair. But things have more or less calmed down now. 23 minutes left to go. I wouldn't blame you if you tapped out of this. There's no action really going. I'll give you a shout. Tell you what, leave the audio on and tab into something else, alright? Then I'll give you a shout when action's coming on, and then you can come on and keep watching, alright? Because I know, like, I'm not going to pretend that this is like watching pretend cars go around in circles without racing each other is entertaining. It's not. Only when they're side by side, bashing each other for their victory. You have to wait 20 more minutes for that. But I'm gonna try get an interview out of Ethan Mottram. He doesn't have a mic, but I'll relay. If I get an interview with them, I'm gonna try get I'm gonna talk to him in DMs, and then what he says to me, I'll relay on to you verbally. I need to But he still hasn't elaborated on what happened to him. Like, did he get wrecked? Did he crash out? Did he ping out? Well, if there's one thing to be learned, is that the Audi cars and that Audi badge is cursed. And to stay away, they stay the heck away from it in the future. So those of you who are currently who've been in the know for R3E, you guys know of the Porsche 944 or the 994. I have no idea what it's called, but there's an old Porsche that I don't know. All the old guys in the community are raving on about it. I don't know. It got the what was it called? They got a reputation as the poor man's Porsche. That was the 2924. The 944 was a good car, according to them. And regarding the Turbo Cup, that Cup car is hardly documented anywhere. So it'd be very interesting to see like what it's like to drive and how it is. Like it's a front engine N94 V4. I have no idea. It's a 4-cylinder engine, turbocharged. It's a Cup car, being released alongside the brand new 992 GT3Rs and the 911 Cup. As Rebeck goes into the pits. Trying to get the undercut on Ivan Lukic, and then that's Janos Kovacs emerging out in front of Andy Darnell. He's done a very good job. Vic Vegas slipped off the track and into the gravel trap. Might have been a blown tire. After an hour, even the hard compounds is starting to blow up off the rim. People are going to be blowing up uncontrollably now. You can look in Vic Vegas' camera whenever he's on screen. He's cornering significantly slower than everybody else. There's got to be a blown tire. He can hardly control himself. Look, he's on the gravel again. There's 20 minutes to go. He's got to get a fuel top up and he's got to get that new tires on the car quickly. It's not optimal strategy, but he won't survive otherwise. Dave Ziska's behind them both. He's chasing down Vic Vega for the victory, and that is Fotis Ziska in the pits. He's going to be on there. He's going to either look into just fuel, or depending on whether he's first or last, with a significant gap, they're going to have a look at changing tires, because those mediums have to be, if those are still the same mediums that Fotis put on the car at the start, they'll blow up off the rims. They're not going to survive. Antonio will catch up. Well, that's Rebeck off into the gravel trap, and he has finally hit escape, and he gives up. That basically, if Ivan Lukic keeps going now, that basically guarantees the GTE win to Ivan Lukic. Well, assuming he stays around, your GTE race winner after a wildly inconsistent round is Ivan Lukic. This I know for sure. While Janos Kovacs has managed to build up a substantial lead over Andy Darnell, proving that straight line speed isn't everything. While I partially agree with there is no replacement for displacement, Sepang was not this kind of track. While there are big straights on this track, it seems to be the lightweightness of the radical that's gaining Kovac's time in the corners, giving him something to think about. Straights are for fast cars, corners are also for fast cars and fast drivers. I butchered, that was not the saying at all, but... What can you do? Andy Foster's off. Dave Zizka's fighting Vic Vega. He's the second back, fighting for position here with 16 minutes to go, essentially 15. Please excuse the train if you could hear that. Rebec's steering wheel disconnected. I just got the information from the Discord. He had a hardware failure. Ah, that sucks. I hate when it does that. Like it, especially when you're this far in. Anything could have happened in these last 15 minutes, and you've been at it for over an hour, and your hardware just fails on you like that. And that is the ultimate. Any kind of like equipment failure is bad, and that's Vic Vega. He's round. He's been overtaken by Dave Zizka. Vic Vega has made a costly mistake. He's P6, down to P6 at the minute. He lost P5 to Dave Zizka. I think Vic Vega's tires blown out. Those hard tires are starting to go. They're starting to blow up. That's the only explanation I can think of for it. Because Vic Vega's a good driver. "14 minutes to go, and Photosysiclo is coming up. His umpteenth time overtaking traffic. Yeah, this has really gotten not exactly the race start that I would have thought. Like, it was a really exciting start, especially for GT3, but then just disappointment just creeped in. First it was Ethan, then it was Sotiris, then it was Alessandro Rebeck. Like, we're losing all of our battles, one by one. Boring. Well, next round is Silverstone. Hopefully that will be a little bit better than whatever this was. I assure you, this isn't always like this. Alright, I'm going to mute myself for a bit, and I'll let you know when something interesting happens. 13 minutes left to go. Oh yeah, before I go, that one-stop strategy that Arthur Graw was on, he's in the lead. And if my race viewer isn't playing up, he's over a minute. He's up over a minute on the next GT3s behind him. No, that I lied. That was it's only like 17 seconds. I say only 17 seconds, but that crazy strategy he's got might just bag him the win. Engine mode one stop, baby. Big Vega is gone again, and Vega's starting to lose it. It's rough, man. It's rough. Ten minutes to go. So I'm looking to sort out some post-race interviews for y'all, because I imagine that a few drivers here will have a certain perspective of things from how it went from their end. As always, Sotras Moraitis does not want to have he doesn't want to talk about it. I wouldn't either. I've had a win torn away from me by internet. I still don't know what happened with Ethan, whether it really crashed out or hang out, or I haven't heard from him anyway. I asked him if he'd like to say anything. He said no. I'd understand. But something from Sotras Moraitis, he said he was happy with only one incident point out of 100, which is an amazing feat. But I do not know who's like, my viewing tool is very glitched at the minute. I do not know whether or not, like, it says for me Antonio Costa's 6 laps down, but I have no idea, like, whether or not, like, what happened to him, because he wasn't up with the fight directly. He wasn't fighting directly with Photosysoglu anyway. Seven minutes to go, people. Don't go anywhere. Because, I know it's hard not to, but don't go anywhere because post-race interviews after this, as always. Everyone in commentator chat already, you guys are all welcome to say your piece when the time comes. Just race for 6 more minutes, I'll get to you. So anyway, this seems to be a done deal for Janos Kovacs. He's done very, very well on the Radical. His kind of track, Janos Kovacs. Arthur Graw's crazy one-stop strategy on a low engine map has saved him dozens of time. Extreme Radicals gaining bit by bit from Arthur Graw being down on power. But yeah, like, if he actually pulls this off, I'm going to be pretty damn impressed. We have had 5 DNFs over the course of the last hour and 15 minutes. 5 minutes to go. It's really stupid how Peng does you like that. It's just a race room thing, really. It's always really fussy about Peng. Unfortunately. It's inevitable. It happens. Like, Ping outs happen at all kinds of events. It's a thing of endurance sim racing. Like, it's almost a given that at least 2 people will disconnect, no matter how good your ping is. Like, if just one spike is all it takes and you're gone. Like, it can happen to Verstappen and Le Mans Virtual. It can happen to anyone. That man can't unless Verstappen was on really bad Wi-Fi, then if Verstappen can't afford fiber optic Wi-Fi, then no one's safe. Janos Kovacs has done a very good job, P2 overall. Making over a minute in lap time over Andy Darnell. He's done a very good thing in strategy, it appears. No idea what he did though. But Bat Radical is a very good car. And of course a very good driver behind the wheel. Something that never ceases to amaze me is the fact that wherever there's Dirk Pfeiffer in this championship, there's Mike Bartman. There's that pair of Bentleys. They're almost always seen together. Like, you can see. Oh, Janos Kovacs having a small accident there. Not gonna be anywhere near enough for Andy Darnell to catch up to him though. It was a good effort, but Radical is a quick car around this track. Either that or we've got an LMP2 alien on our hands. Lap 38. put in a few more laps and you'll make it home, buddy. 2 minutes to go. After Ethan Mottram left the scene, this has been relatively easy for Photosysiclu. Don't be under any illusion, he is just very, very lucky with having a win gifted to him. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, that's exactly what happened to him. But I have a feeling that, and maybe this isn't the last we'll see of Photosysiclu, like maybe he'll go faster in Silverstone, because Silverstone is also very technical. No idea when. I have no idea, but like I remember Ethan saying something about him needing to win race up after race in order to get back the championship lead. And with this latest internet kick, I don't think it's gonna happen. Either that or it's gonna be Ethan's gonna have to win the next 3 endurance races. One of those being Hungary or Austria. I can't remember. It's a Red Bull Ring. He's just voiced his disgust at that track. He hates it. But he was definitely the quickest driver here today. It's very unfortunate that he had to be kicked. Or that he left for whatever reason. I keep assuming it's been to could be something else. Well, we're 00 on the clock, and this is either going to be the final lap or the second to last lap. You can see Photosysiclu about to cross the line with Arthur Grob. You can see Arthur Grob is the highest rated. Alright, I gotta shut up now because Photosysiclu just had a win in Sepang this time round, and extends as a championship lead. Janos Kovacs is the last car on the lead lap. It's not quite over for him. Yes, he's still got a little bit to go. Something tells me that he's got this in the bag. Janos Kovacs, radical, what a machine. That number 28 is going to cross the line first for LMP2. And I do not believe my eyes. Because he's actually done it. Arthur Gra on a one-stop strategy on engine map 1 the whole way probably has taken a massive gamble on this race's strategy. I have no idea how he managed it, but yeah, I hate to ruin the moment, but Ethan's quit the championship. He's pissed. What can you do? If it's not fun, then what else is it supposed to be, eh? Voicing his disgust in the Discord. Well, anyway, there's Photosysiclu, your race winner and fastest lap bearer of 152.2. Janos Kovacs wins for Radical in the Radical for LMP2 with Andy Darnell, second in class, Andy Foster third. Arthur Graw wins on a spectacular one-stop strategy in GT3. Dirk Pfeiffer following him in the Bentley, and everyone else who actually finished the endurance race, because like going for an hour and a half on borderline 1 hour and a half straight is no easy feat, and all of you guys did extremely well. Proud of you all, whoever made it to the end there. So well done, everyone. I'd love to do a few post-race interviews with people who are willing to give show their piece around this very long race. So, Andy Darnell, would you like to talk about your race?
Hi, Margot.
Andy.
Yeah. Hi.
So, that that was a bit of a tough race there for you. Like, it was a bit more resistance than you quite expected.
No. As soon as I saw the word Kovacs on the list, I knew I was going second. He's an amazing driver. He beat me by a minute, and he deserves it. He's damn quick. But no, it was good fun. It's good exercise, if nothing else.
Yeah, it must be, if for nothing else, good exercise if you've got a direct drive.
Yeah, I did turn it down a little bit halfway. It was getting a bit much. I'll feel it in the morning. All good fun. No, it was a good race. Thank you to everybody that attended, and congrats, Arthur, on making the most of practice, because that's where I think I lacked, because I first practiced that for today. And yeah, if you fail to prepare, you're prepared to fail. That's the saying.
All right. What was your initial reaction to Arthur Graw's one-stop strategy? Like, that was absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, no, that's what you call preparation. He prepared, and he did his laps before the race, and obviously decided that he could do it. He obviously did his research, and then it paid off with a win. He deserves it.
Well, this has been a very eventful, wildly inconsistent, but it came good for some of the drivers here today. Would you like to mention anything else to anyone else here?
No, just thank you everybody that turned up, and hopefully see you at the next one. Sorry for those that disconnected, but I can't do much about the race room gremlins. They do turn up now and again, unfortunately. It happens. But no, thanks everybody that attended.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Andy. And next up we'll take Arthur, if you're ready. Actually, perfect timing. Arthur Graw, everybody, your GT3 race winner. You're on mute, buddy.
Hello?
Hello, Arthur. That was an Yeah. So, that strategy, man, that is the most wildest strategy I've ever seen.
Well, it worked, didn't it?
Absolutely, buddy. Well done, the win. You deserve it, buddy.
Yeah, I could only do limited testing, but it seemed like there were only 10 liters of fuel missing in the end. It might have been a little bit more, but yeah, it's somehow I made it to the end, and I knew nobody else would be able to do so, so I could focus my eyes on what's going on behind me. Also, shout out to Sotiris. He unfortunately retired during a pit stop. Also had amazing pace today, and after that was helping me a lot. Also with pulling that one off, it was really wild, and yeah, happy about it.
yeah, you got massive bragging rights for that now. That was something I was going to ask you actually. What was your initial reaction to Sotiris Moraitis dropping out? Did you think he could have won today?
To be honest, I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't test the strategies, which one is faster. So we played it out. He might have hopefully had the perfect two-stop, but yeah, I guess we will never know. Yeah, maybe he would, because without him in my ears, I maybe would have retired. So no idea. I can't tell it. He had for sure a good pace today. Obviously, we could only match up in qualifying. By the way, very nice that fourth front row lockout for IY in this championship now. So even without those on the grid, we could still manage that. But yeah, he was very quick today. But in race pace, we had no comparison. So we were on totally different strategies, and I have no idea which one was faster.
Do you think this is the last you've seen of Sotiris?
No, I don't think that. No. Do you think he's going to be so depressed now?
Yeah, like anyone would. Like just talk to Ethan Mantra easier.
Yeah,
It's happened to him twice now.
I've saw that. Yeah, it's just the impact some weird, awful DNFs can have on a championship. It's happening here. It's happening at other places where people just do everything right apparently, and then the server says no, or the game says no, or the internet, or whatever. And those who don't have these problems, for example, I don't have it as often at least, and yeah, I'm very lucky because sometimes you have bad internet, but sometimes people just have no idea what's wrong.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to the rest of the guys in chat?
I'm happy so many showed up today, and I hope we had a nice race. I just don't know if it was clean or anything. I only focused on myself, didn't see anything wild or mad happen. So yeah, just hope everyone had fun today.
Yeah, like that GT3 field was absolutely like it was so like nothing was the same. If no two laps were the same for GT3, that was like everyone was jockeying for everything there. Like, there were so many position changes in GT3, makes your head spin.
Yeah, I can I can imagine that.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Arthur.
Thank you for your time, and have a nice evening. Bye bye.
Have a good evening. And Photos Isaglu, would you like to have a chat about your race? You are, if I'm not mistaken, you are a winner in LMP1 tonight.
Yes. Hi, Michael. Hi to all the guys.
So, what was your initial reaction of Ethan suddenly leaving?
I didn't notice that. I was focused on my race and to my strategy. I didn't realize anything like that.
Yeah, it's important just to focus on yourself. Surely you must have thought something. Like Ethan is absolutely distraught. But do you think you'll see him back, or?
I don't know. I won't speak about others. I speak only about myself. It was a nice race. I did some mistakes in the beginning. I forgot to put the car in map 5 because I was saving fuel for the first lap because it is formation lap, and at the beginning I forgot to change the car engine, the map engine of the car to map 5. I saw a car spinning. I didn't want to compromise the beginning procedure, so I started normally, and at the time I see that he was recovered quickly. I deliver the place as I should do ethically. I don't know if I should deliver the position by the rules, but ethically I believe that I should give the place back, so I did. And then continue my race, focusing on my race and my strategy, anything else. I try to avoid collisions and compromise the race of any other driver. And about a half hour before the end, when tires were starting to kicking, and I was starting to getting tired also because it was very sweaty, I do some mistakes in 2-3 laps continuously, but then I changed tires and I recovered.
Alright, is there anything else you'd like to say to the crowd at home?
I hope they enjoy it as we did. Congratulations to all the drivers that take part. Congratulations to the other two winners of the 2 other classes. And I hope to see you at the next one.
Alright, thank you so much for your time, Curtis.
You're welcome, Michael.
So, that's all the drivers that have come forward for an interview, and for now I'd like to just mention a few things to you guys. Just a sort of a little bit debrief on my end, I suppose. Like, this round of Sepang was pretty hectic. It was wildly inconsistent. There was no sugarcoating it. Like, there was a lot of drivers pinning out 5 in total today. But as much as it was inconsistent, it was lots of chaos, lots of action in GT3. I believe we'll see that all over again in Silverstone next month. That is really GT3 never ceases to amaze me how good the racing can be and how close quarters our field can perform. Like, there's so much action all the time, like, right until the final 20 minutes. Like, there were still drivers jockeying for position. So maybe next month we'll get a glimpse at a few of the new Porsches that they're actually adding in next week, and hopefully we've got a few events in between. This wasn't say the most sunshine and rainbows race that we've ever had, but we had a few bizarre moments, and we really hope that you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed the race that we just I got it. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed, guys. If you'd like to support the channel, please give the channel a like, or the stream a like, whatever. We've got a bunch of other events coming in, so if you want to stay tuned, hit the bell, and thank you so much for sticking with me from start to finish for over an hour, or 2 if you're that far, either one. Thank you everyone for watching. See you next month.